Then, many months later, on an ordinary day, it happened. I had just finished tending to the servants when I found myself once again at the edge of our estate. I stared down the dusty road where my son disappeared. I prayed for him like so many times before, but I felt sadness all over again. And just as I started to walk away, something caught my eye. I could barely make out a man in tattered clothing, maybe one of the beggars from town. Then as the man came closer, my heart jumped in my throat. This was no beggar. Before I knew what was happening, I ran toward my son, exhausted. Out of breath, I threw my arms around him, laughing like a man with no sense. When I finally released him, I got my first look at what he had become. I could see the shame in his eyes as my son collapsed at my feet. Holding out his arms in humility, he began to talk, but I don't remember a word. Instead, I thought about the last time my son stretched out his hands. It was because he wanted money. Now, he wanted to come home. Immediately, I grabbed his hands in mine and pulled him to his feet. I didn't care who he was or where he had been. None of that mattered. My boy was home, and that was everything. I shouted to the servants in the fields, "Quick, bring the finest clothing, fix the finest meal. My son has returned." I put my arms around him. With tears of joy in both our eyes, we walked all the way home to the biggest party our town had ever seen. My son was home.